All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What is going on, Ship It Nation YouTube station? We are back with the Friday edition of the MLB show. I got my boy Matt here with me to talk through this 11-game slate over on DraftKings.com. Should be a good game. We got the Braves and Coors, which we know we're going to give some ownership to. Got some arms we're going to talk about. And before we get going, let's take a trip down memory lane, Matt, and go through our home run calls last week. I'll remind you, in case you don't remember, you had your boy Bo Bichette, who got a single. So congratulations, he got a single. Daniel Schneemann was my home run call of the week. And in the very first batter of the game, what did he do, Matt? He took Max Scherzer yard, who you said was washed. So I'll give you your props there. So Ham 1, Matt 0 on the home run calls of the week. With that, I'll bring you right in. Happy Friday, Matt. What's going on?
You got to be down bad to go right there at the beginning of the show, just trying to rag on me immediately. I don't know what happened to you this week.
I'm giving you your props. You got to see
how excited you were to just straight own me there. You must be really down bad. So I'm not even going to come back with anything because I feel bad for you. So we'll leave it there. I can't wait to break this slate down with you. I hope I have some better home run picks tonight. That's all I got to say.
I won't even mention you did say Ozzie Albies, who was betting cleanup, and Jock Peterson as well. We won't even go down that path. We'll never go down
Albies had a good week. I don't remember that night, but he had a good week.
Well, that was last week. He had a bad last week, but hey, we're going to break it all down. And Nades, you got to step your game up. Nades and I last year, we made a lot of money betting these home run parlays. Love betting home run parlays. Probably the worst bet out there, but they're fun to do anyway. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Do us a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a ton. Let's say hello to Wins-A-Lot. My guy Nade's in here as always. You got Redfish Nick. Wetfish Nick, I think you're new or newer. Appreciate you tuning in. Warren Tyler, my guy Jordan Newland's in here. Philly Phantom in here as always. K-Town Finest. What K-Town? I know a lot of K-Town. Is that Knoxville K-Town? That's what I call K-Town. Nick Barrett's in here. Who else? We got my guy Taco Todd in here as always. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Avery, thanks for chiming in. We got 50 of you in here right now. That number will get up to 300. 11 games. I've said it, Matt. Let's talk about it. Let's go pitching like we always do. 9,500. We got Zach Wheeler in the fish tank taking on these Marlins. I know Nades. I know Jordan. They like to do fish fries on Friday night up there in Wisconsin. So he's going to be popular, I think. So Zach Wheeler, $9,500 all the way down to Yuri Perez in that same game at home against these Phillies. Talk to me through this group.
So we've got a really, obviously, big slate tonight with a ton of good hitting options, but pitching options leave a lot to be desired. I do think it's a spend up at pitcher night for the most part. Most expensive guy is Wheeler, who in real life, like, if he hadn't been coming off the injury, et cetera, he's the best pitcher on this slate. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball. He was good enough for me to be interested in him here, 9,500. Good enough spot against Miami. I like him. I like Brian Wu in a bounce back spot after he just got shelled last time out. He's been inconsistent this year. His numbers aren't nearly as good as they were last year, but still early. I'm still buying what he's selling, so I'm in on Wu. Will Warren, risky, but he looks pretty good here. He's got high strikeout upside. Again, the pitching options leave a lot to be desired. So I think those three guys look really good up top. Emmett Sheehan, coming off a really good start. He's certainly in play. Not a good spot for Robbie Ray at all, and he's expensive, so I'm probably out there. And then likely the best option of them all is Cole Ragans. He doesn't come without his warts or red flags either, but he's so cheap at 8,300. Really good spot in Seattle in this ballpark. coming from a ballpark that's really tough to strike out hitters to one that's really, beneficial for pitchers in terms of strikeouts. So Reagan's is just too cheap for his upside. I don't love any pitcher on this slate, but I think those are the pool of guys I'm working with. How do you see it?
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it, right? Cole Reagan's $8,300 coming off a 35-point performance at home. Now goes on the road in I still call it Safeco Field, and Safeco Field up there in Seattle. That's a great matchup. Will Warren, you said it. I love him. I love Will Warren at $8,900. I think he's a good pivot off Woo. I think Woo's a great spot too. He pitched in that, and I think it was very sunny in St. Louis last week. They hit like 10 bombs between the two teams in that game. I think both of those are great plays. Woo and Will Warren go 1-2 in our pitcher rankings over here at the Nation. So I love them. Our boy Nades thinks Zach Wheeler's washed coming off his second start. He threw 84 pitches his first start. Now he goes in the second game. You didn't mention Robbie Ray, which I think is interesting. We know Robbie Ray. Talk about warts. Shout out Brentwood, Tennessee, Robbie Ray. But he does walk a bunch of batters at time, but he can also strike out a bunch of people. Problem is this Rays team just hasn't been striking out at home against lefties in a limited sample size. So if I had to rank them, and I don't have any interest in Yuri Perez, you didn't mention him, but if I had to rank them for me, it's Woo 1, Warren 2, Reagan's 3, Zach Wheeler would be number 4 for me. But to your point, I don't love any of them. I think you could make a case for any of them. I'm not playing Noah Schultz. I'm not playing Robbie Ray. I'm not playing Yuri Perez. If I had a wild card, though, Matt, it would be your boy Ed Sheeran at 8,700 going into St. Louis. I typically don't think that the Busch Stadium is a great place for hitters. Sheeran coming off his best game of the season, so I don't hate him if I was going to go out on a limb. What about you?
Yeah, so the Yuri Perez call, yeah, he's in play just because the pitching options aren't great today. I haven't loved what I've seen from him this year. His numbers are down, but kind of like I said with Will, I am a believer in his stuff. So I get the Yuri Perez call, and then after that, what'd you ask me? Were we going to cheaper guys yet?
No, not yet. I mean, no love for McClanahan.
McClanahan's coming off his best start, and he gets a pretty good matchup against San Fran. So I don't hate it. I just don't have a strong take on him. Same with Sheehan. The matchup's not amazing. It's not awful either. Given what we're working with on this slate, I think he's in play. But I personally probably won't play him, so it's hard for me to give a strong take there,
Yeah. Cash game parent is going to be Reagan's and who? Reagan's and Woo or Reagan's and Wheeler?
Not sure yet. I could also see Warren creeping in there. I'm seeing some places project him as the second highest owned. I think Woo, but I don't know. I don't think there is a clear SB2 right now.
I think McClanahan has a pivot off of Reagan's, right? $100 less cheaper. I would say just as good matchup, pretty good ballpark in the Trop. I don't think that's the worst play. Anyway, enough up there. Or we'll come back to ranking them at the end. I don't think any of you guys 7,700 and below are going to get it creep into your top rankings. But you mentioned it earlier, right? Not a great pitching slate. Maury Povich at $7,700, all the way down to Jose Quintana at $5,500. Anybody in this range? Is Quintana on the hill for the Rockies tonight?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Anybody in there? I don't see anybody. The only one that I would even mention. Now, go ahead. Anybody in that range?
I kind of like Cantillo. I'm a believer in his stuff. I think this is a classic both sides-er. He's a good pitcher. He's striking out a lot of guys this year. So he's in play because he's cheap and he's got a pretty good matchup. But on the flip side, obviously tough place to pitch, and the A's have a lot of righty power. So I could see using A's tonight. But I think given what we're working with on this slate, Cantillo is at least in play for me. Other than that, man, I can't do Burrows, Holmes. I just can't do it. Povich, I can't do it. He's been pretty good this year, but I guess he's in play, just because I might not play him doesn't mean he's not in play. I like Cantillo a little bit more, but that's just a preference thing. I think they look pretty similarly. Tougher spot for Povich even, though, obviously going to New York to face the Yankees. So there aren't that many guys you feel super comfortable with rostering tonight, even up top. Certainly you feel less comfortable the cheaper you go. You know what I mean?
What about former Rocky great Herman Marquez taking on Murakami and this White Sox team at home? I love taking pictures in Petco, but any love for Marquez as like a dart throw?
Yeah, I was thinking about him and was about to shout him out before I handed it back to you. I think he's in play, and that's about it. His numbers aren't good. He's long past the days of his Rockies greatness. I was a huge fan of him back then, but he's just not that guy anymore. You're using him because he's cheap, he's at home, and he's facing the White Sox. And I think on this slate, like those are all reasons where he's in play because there isn't a pitcher that projects for like more than 20 fantasy points, no matter where you look tonight, around there, not for much more, if that. So, yeah, you look at Marquez here, got a lot of win equity against the White Sox, even though I like Noah Schultz a lot as an arm. He's just too expensive for this slate. I think Marquez is in play, and you just kind of click and pray because his underlying numbers aren't good, but he's in a good spot in a good ballpark.
I know you're a typically 1 to 3 lineup kind of guy. If you're playing 3 lineups tonight, how many pitchers are going to be in your pool?
Probably, if I'm playing 3 lineups tonight, how many pitchers will be in my pool? Probably 3.
Oh wow! Any of them that you're locking in?
Probably not. Probably play 3 and then combo
Just
each
round
one
robin
once. Yeah.
All right, let's get to it. Let's rank your top three pitchers on the slate. I'm going to say 82 and above because I don't think you have any love for those guys down there. But rank your top 3 pitchers on the slate. Raw points.
I'll say Reagan's, Wu, Wheeler.
Reagan, Wu. So you're not very high on Warren tonight, then.
I like all 3 of those guys slightly more, but I think Warren's like right there. And I do think that the drop off is after Warren. Like if you ask me my top 4 raw points, he's in there. Yeah, he's 4th.
All right. Good deal. That's pitching right there. If you got any other questions, make sure to put it in the chat as we go game by game. We got 11 games to go, so we're going to get going to it. We got the Orioles going into Yankee Stadium to take on the aforementioned Will Warren. Cade Povich on the bump for the Orioles. Yankees slate has scored with 5 runs. I liked what you said earlier. Cade has pitched better this year. But talk to me about this game. Any love for these Orioles or Yankee stacks?
Yeah, I mean, I don't love either pitcher. Warren obviously is better and in the easier matchup. So I think both offenses aren't awful plays. The Yankees certainly got Aaron Judge, other guys that profile well against Povich here. Orioles aren't in a great spot, but you're playing into that Warren ownership, which matters. So I think both teams are middle of the road for me. The Yankees are higher because of just their power upside, but I don't love either, just given the context of the slate and how much I like 5, 6, 7 other offenses and how good a spot some of those teams are in. I think both of these teams are in play, the Yankees more so, but not either one of my favorites.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Looking over at your slate plan, we got the Yankees in the top 7, not to give everything away, but yeah, Yankees in the top 7 stacks over there on the slate plan that you did over there on the site. So I'm with you. Don't love either one of those. We didn't love the Orioles last week, and I think they put up 15. Adley went double dong, scored a bunch of points. But yeah, I don't love either one of these stacks on the slate tonight either, but I'm with you. Would lean more Yankees than Orioles. Next up on the slate is we didn't talk about either one of these pitchers, so I'm assuming you're going to have some interest in these bats. Got the Astros and the Red Sox, basically a pick 'em. Got almost a 10 total for the game. Got the Green Monster in play. Your Dong, he went yard yesterday in the second game of the doubleheader. Talk to me about this game, though. Houston at the Red Sox taking on pitchers no one's ever heard of.
Yeah, so at first there, I thought this game was supposed to have really good hitting weather, which made me very interested in the hitters here. I still think both offenses are in play. Mike Burrows is not a guy that I'm scared to pick on at all. Houston, man, they just disappoint, leave a lot to be desired. Yesterday, I love them in against Bassett. They were awful in game one of the doubleheader just for them to score like 11, at least 11 in the second game, which is always
like the first 4 innings too.
Yeah, that always burns. But here they're facing an unknown commodity in Jake Bennett, who's been good so far in the minors, but we've read this book before. Like, again, he's an unknown commodity. Doesn't mean he's going to be bad, but doesn't mean he's going to be good. And all of a sudden, if he's off putting guys on, that's where upside comes into play. So I think Houston's in play for that. Boston is in play just because I don't think Burrows is good. Houston's bullpen certainly isn't good, and they're overused. So Boston, been pretty underwhelming so far this year, but they've been better recently, correlating with the firing and stuff of Alex Cora and the staff. I think they're in play here. I like them both. Similar to how I like the Yankees. I think the Yankees have more upside, but I think they're on the Yankees tier. With some other teams looking better.
Yeah, I would say I like the Red Sox tonight. They're one of my top stacks on the board. Good value back at home. Meyer looks good. Abreu looks good. Anthony looks good. Yeah, I would say 1 through 6 look really good, and then you got Durbin down there that's dirt cheap at 22. If you want to plug in your catcher spot at 2,100 there, you can get pretty much any Brave you want and the Red Sox, any 3 Braves you want and the Red Sox 5-man, and then a couple good pitchers as well. Don't hate that. And then you said it. Burrows doesn't miss any bats. You can see there 11% K percentage on the season. And then I would take a couple flyers on the Astros. Don't love it. Notable lefty master Christian Walker has the green monster there, the short porch and left. Don't hate him. He could be my home run call of the day. Matt, we'll come back and see, but I do like Christian Walker batting cleanup, a real cleanup hitter today for the Astros. Moving on to the next game, got the Phillies, got the Marlins. Hate the park. Have respect for definitely Zach Wheeler and Yuri Perez for that matter. Schwarber hit his 350 bomb of his career yesterday. No Trey Turner in this lineup. I'm just now seeing that. No Trey Turner in this lineup, which is going to shake some things up. Does that change your opinion on Yuri Perez? And then I don't think you're going to like any of these Marlins, but maybe I'm wrong. Talk to me about this game. Phillies at the Marlins.
You said no Trey Turner?
That's what we're showing.
No. I mean, one hitter is very rarely going to get me like off a team that I like, but it doesn't make me like them anymore. You know what I mean? Like, and this is the type of slate, just I kind of answering that in the moment where there's small margins like separating the teams on this slate because there's a bunch of teams that look really good. So normally I would say no, that doesn't affect me because it makes them cheaper, easier to stack. Tonight it might though. They were already going to be solo owned. Turner was already cheap. I liked him here. So yeah, I'm not a fan of that, but it is what it is. Yuri's in play. Again, I haven't loved what I've seen from him this year. His underlying stuff isn't great, but I expect big things from him. So maybe I'm just being hard on him. He's affordable. You get a little bit of a watered down Phillies lineup. Yeah, he's in play. I don't love it again, but hard for him not to at least be in play on this slate. We talked about Wheeler. I still like the Phillies bats. I don't like them as much, and I'm out on Miami. So, yeah, the Turner news stinks.
When you say watered down Phillies lineup, like I agree with you. Like I think of Phillies, and I think they're gonna just crush you. But I mean, the corpse of Adolis Garcia, Brandon Marsh is your cleanup hitter, Edmundo Sosa. Like these guys stink, don't they? Like pretty bad lineup. Pretty bad lineup.
I don't think it's as bad as you're making it out to be. I mean, you still got Schwarber and Harper.
Well, right.
So maybe you just. Yeah, I don't think I don't know. Like Adolis. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's not a great lineup.
I mean,
It really
he's
isn't.
2,800 for a reason. Like they're basically giving him to you if you want him.
Yeah, I mean, I get your point. Well taken.
All right, if you're the don't slander Marsh, he's been great. If you're filling out a roster, I know you love cleanup hitters. Are you putting Ozzie Albies or Brandon Marsh as a better cleanup hitter?
Albies, I don't know what's your deal with Albies. He's a stud, especially against lefties.
I'm a Braves. I'm not saying Albies is bad, but Albies is not a cleanup hitter.
He's not a cleanup hitter, but that doesn't make him any less in play on any DFS slate because he's hitting cleanup that night. It makes him more of a play.
I guess it's just more of a personal thing for me because I like the Braves and I don't like him in batting cleanup. But anyway, you're right. It has nothing to do with DFS. So everybody's saying Brandon Marsh is the second coming of Barry Bonds. Apparently, Nades and Shalhoub in there. Marsh is going to hit a homer tonight. I'm not going to hear the end of it in the chat between Shalhoub and Nades, so I can't wait for that. He may be my home run call today, just so I have some saving grace. No, I won't do that. So Marsh has been good this year. That's good to know. All right, moving on to the next game. I got my boy Robbie Ray, got Shane McClanahan on the hill. Both lefties, southpaws, in a terrible ballpark for DFS, in my opinion. If you look over there at the Rays, they just don't strike out, like I said, in limited sample. We know what Robbie Ray is, right? High strikeout guy, high walk guy as well, high barrel percentage too. If you look at this, 13.5, which is not very good. But talk to me about this game. We got a total that's hovering just south of 8, but Giants at the Rays in the Trop.
Yeah. This game, if there was any game on this slate, I think there's a cross off. It'd probably be this one, but that doesn't mean there's an upside from, frankly, all angles. So McClanahan coming off his best start. He's still affordable for the arm talent that we know he has, facing a pretty weak San Fran lineup. I don't hate him. I don't hate San Fran, though, because they got guys that profile well against left-handed pitchers. We know Matt Chapman, Willie Adames, etc., although Adames is a guy that notoriously has been better than against righties, but still. Chapman, Casey Schmidt having a massive year. I can get on board with some Giants. It's just hard to see San Fran winning this slate with the Braves, the Dodgers. We talked about the Astros, Red Sox, Yankees, Guardians. I mean, there's really good stacks tonight. So I don't know. I don't have much interest in this game. Like, I could talk up basically anything you want here because there's good pieces all around. But as far as the context of this slate, I don't think there's anything that stands out even a little bit.
Yeah, no Giants for me. I mean, the Rays, I don't hate them. Chandler Simpson at the top of the lineup. Obviously, he can steal bags with the best of them. Camanero's got some pop to him. Yandy went yard the other night. I think more of a mini for me against Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray, we're only showing 6% ownership. I think it'll be a little bit higher than that, but I don't think either one of these pitchers are going to garner, say, north of 20. But I would have a Rays mini. Wouldn't hate that for sure. No Giants for me on this slate. Next game up on the slate, I have some interest in this one, maybe a little off the board. Got the Blue Jays taking on the Twins. I feel like we saw this same series a week or two ago, but it was in Toronto this time. We got the gift that keeps on giving in Patrick Corbin, taking on the second gift that keeps on giving, SWR, Simeon Woods Richardson. There should be some runs in this one. The Twins are looking mighty fine over here on the Stone, but talk to me about this game. Blue Jays at the Twins.
Yeah, both these stacks definitely stand out. Two pitchers that we're not really interested in at all. I didn't even mention them, though, and I just talked about those other stacks I like. That's the type of slate it is, with just a bunch of teams looking good here. Woods Richardson stinks. Toronto in a really good spot. I got no issues with the Toronto stack here. Same with Minnesota. I mean, Corbin is not good. He's a guy we've notoriously liked to pick on for years. After being a good pitcher, just a weird career arc for him.
For years,
he's still not good. So, yeah, it's all about offense in this game. But even with that said, I could see if anyone told me these two teams were two of their top 3-4 stacks on the board, I would get it. But I would also understand if they were outside anyone's top 5. That's how loaded of a slate it is as far as offenses go.
Yeah, if you had to pick one, Jays or Twins, who do you like better? I mean, it's a dead up pick 'em game. I know the Blue Jays line up isn't out yet, but who would you say?
That's a good question because I do think they look really similarly. I'm going to say the Jays, but I don't have a strong take there. How about you?
Yeah, that I would lean more Twins.
Okay.
I mean, it's Patrick Corbin, man. It's like,
I mean,
gosh,
Woods
like you said.
Richardson, though. It's Simeon Woods Richardson would be my comment.
Yeah, they're bad. They're both bad, right? What if we just did a game stack and just called it a day?
Yeah, I don't hate that idea. I was kind of thinking about that as we talked about it.
Yeah. You say Patrick Corbin, then you say SWR. They're both gas cans for sure. I love both of those stacks for sure. I'd say they're top 5 for me, both of them. Next up on the slate, we got the Dodgers, highly ranked in the stack rankings over here at the Nation as well. Dodgers going into St. Louis. The Matthew Liberatore taking on Emmett Sheehan. Shohei's always going to be in play. Freddie Freeman, Will Smith. The list goes on and on. I'd say 1 through 5 high price guys. You're going to want to have them in your lineup. And if you're going to full stack the Dodgers, you're going to have some of these guys down below. Even though Pahi's, we have him at 8th right now at $4,600. He's pricey. What about any of these Cardinals? I know you said you like Sheehan a little bit, but Weatherholt hit a couple bombs here recently. Talking about this game, Dodgers at the Cardinals.
I personally think this game is all about the Dodgers. The Cardinals have been good lately, but man, they're expensive. Too expensive for this spot, this slate. I'm personally not going to get to St. Louis. Not that I think they're like a bad play. If I were playing 150, I wouldn't be taking them out of my pool, but they're really expensive for whatever reason, all over. Weatherholt, Walker, Burleson. I mean, you're paying like almost Braves and Coors prices for these guys. So they're contrarian, but I respect Sheehan enough, even if I probably won't use him, where I'm not going to get to St. Louis. But the Dodgers, I mean, Liberatore is another guy that's just not good. I'll throw him in the Woods Richardson Corbin bucket. Doesn't strike guys out. He's just not good. Gave up a bunch of home runs his last start. Now you got the Dodgers, who are expensive but have been priced down a little bit. They're not going to be highly owned because you got the Braves and Coors. I think they look really good here in tournaments as a contrarian tournament stack. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't look good. What's your take?
To me, yeah, I hate playing the Dodgers because, like I said, I think you got to play, if you're going to full 5-man stack them, you got to play some of those guys down below. But yeah, I mean, obviously they're squarely in play. I always like the Dodgers more minis than I do full stacks. And then I like Sheehan enough not to play any of these Cardinals. So yeah, so Dodgers for me are definitely in the pool. Probably not getting any Cardinals. Has Jordan Walker? I don't think I've rostered Jordan Walker one time all season. Has he cooled down at all, or is he still piping hot?
He's cooled down a bit. I mean, he homered a couple games ago, I think off Skeens, but he started off the season blazing hot. I think he's cooled down a little bit.
Yeah. Weatherholt hit a leadoff bomb off Skeens yesterday, I believe it was.
He's been amazing. They both homered off Skeens, I think.
Oh, did they both do it? Okay.
Maybe I'm misremembering games.
Yeah. Liberatore bad versus both sides. So yeah, I don't play the Dodgers without Shohei. Would you play a Dodger stack without Ohtani?
I mean, yes and no. Like, I wouldn't go out of my way to, but I wouldn't like be totally against it either because, I mean, you can only play 5 guys. I think there's 5 other more than capable hitters in that lineup, and Ohtani's really expensive. That said, he's the best guy and the number 1 guy I'd want.
Yeah, he's tough to get away from for me when it comes to stacking up. All right, moving on to the next game. If you haven't done so already, hit that like, hit that subscribe. This is where the nitty-gritty are going to come into play. We got the Atlanta Braves headed into Coors Field to take on this game, almost a 12 total. Braves super chalk tonight, taking on the gas can known as Jose Quintana. Interested to get your take on this game from a Rockies perspective. They have almost a 5-run total. Mickey Moniak playing at an all-star caliber level this year. Talk to me about this game, Braves at the Rockies.
Yeah, so you've got the classic, really good offense in cores getting that boost. And Atlanta's been priced up from what they had been priced, but probably not high enough to where they should be in cores. Acuna had been hovering around like 5,100, 5,200. Now he's close to 6K. Albies is close to 5, Riley, but these guys are all under 5K. They're the best stack on the board. I don't even think Quintana's a gas can. He's just not good. And this is the Braves destroy left-handed pitching. So there are a bunch of good stacks tonight. So there are a couple ways to look at it. You could look at it as like you don't need to play the highly owned Braves because you could play the Yankees or the Guardians or the Blue Jays or the Red Sox, the Mets. Like there are a bunch of other good stacks tonight. But on the flip side, you could say, well, all these other stacks look good and are going to take ownership from the Braves, which is the only stack that looks great. I understand both sides of it. Like the Braves are going to be the highest owned, but it's not going to be crazy ownership because other stacks look really good. I don't have, again, I think, and I say this, and especially on a site like this, I think you can build plus EV lineups with the Braves, and I think you can build plus EV lineups without them. I'm not sure what I'm personally going to do yet. How about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Braves, you gotta have interest in them. Albies and Riley going to be popular. I think where you get different with the Braves is you play a Drake Baldwin instead of Jonah Him at the catcher position, right? You can only play one of those. I think people will flock to Jonah if just based off the price. But I think that's how you get different. I think you go minis for the Braves as opposed to full five-man stack them. I don't think those guys down at the bottom of the lineup, the Eli Whites of the world. I know Dubon's been good this year, better this year, but I don't think those guys are going to beat you. At least I'm gonna bank on it tonight. So I think Acuna, Olsen, Baldwin, Albies, and Riley would be where I'm at, cutting it off at that. Maybe Michael Harris as well. I do think he's obviously had a good season this year, but maybe him depending on where he bats. But I wouldn't get to the Eli Whites of the world.
Why not?
Stinks.
I mean, he's not good, but like you're playing against the spot, right? You're playing against Quintana and the Rockies bullpen. And I don't think he's a good example of this because I actually think Eli White will get owned because he's so cheap. But like if I'm playing the Braves, I want a guy at the bottom or two. Not in every Brave stack if I'm playing, but like I feel like if I'm going to play Atlanta, I'm going to be committed to it going all in on Atlanta, not just playing a little bit personally.
But don't you think like everybody's going to play Eli White? That's five-man stacking them. Like, and to get different, you wouldn't want to play him.
We'll have to see how this lineup looks. I think your point about Baldwin and over Heim is interesting because, like, obviously Baldwin's the better play, but to your point, like Heim might get more love because he's so much cheaper. And it's easier to fit the cheaper Atlanta guys. At the end of the day, you got to figure that Acuna, Albies, and Riley, all three of those guys will be the three highest owned Braves.
Yep, I'd agree with that.
Then after that, like Olsen and Baldwin are awesome, and people will want to get there, but they're really expensive for lefty on lefty. So I'm not sure exactly how those guys will be owned. Michael Harris, kind of in the same vein, but he's cheaper. Dubon, I think, might get some ownership. Yeah, I think Eli White might get love. We'll have to see how this lineup shakes out. It is like an interesting spot, though.
Yeah, I just hit refresh. I didn't see anything. Someone said the Dodgers lineup was out. I wanted to see that. I haven't seen it out if it's been on the show. We don't have it in there. Let's go to the other side. I really like the Rockies. Interested to hear your take on the Rockies.
I don't have a strong take here. I don't really think Grant Holmes is that good, but he's good enough where I don't really want to stack Colorado with so many other good spots on the slate. That said, they've been really good against right-handed pitching, and they won't be nearly as owned as the Braves side. So yeah, I think they're a good ownership. No, they never are. It's a good ownership play, but the same token, they don't look nearly as good as the Braves. And I think that if I'm not playing the Braves, there's other stacks I just like a little bit more, but they're in that like Houston Red Sox bucket, at least for me.
Yeah, I actually think two of the best plays, if you wanted to do a mini with my boy Mickey Moniak, Hunter Goodman, Man, that's a tough combo right there. Someone needs to get that little Mickey and Hunter 2-3 combo. That's 30. That's 30 points right there. If you want to do Julian, however you say his name, to bat leadoff, he'll get you some singles and doubles. Not going to hit really many bombs, but I really like 1, 2, and 3 for the Rockies. I actually like the Rockies 5-man stack as well. Were you going to say something? No. Harris will start at will start to DH. I'm assuming he's talking about Michael Harris. I think he's still coming back from that hamstring. Moving on to the next game, we got 4 games left. This is another game I like. I'm liking a lot of stacks tonight. Like you said, it's going to be tough. I think that'll spread out ownership outside of the Braves and maybe the Guardians when we get down there. But we got the Mets taking on the Angels tonight in a game where I think is going to get some ownership from the Mets side. Christian Scott making is this his debut this season, or did he come in relief maybe?
No, he started last game. He pitched.
He started one game. It was not a very good game. It might as well have been in relief because he went one in one inning. So he had an inning and an out. So talk to me about this game. Angels cooling off a little bit, but I like the Mets a little bit tonight. Talk to me through this one. Met at the Angels.
Yeah, I think I can get on board with both stacks here. Good hitting weather, much better ballpark for hitting than the Mets are used to. You get 2 pitchers who aren't very good. Walbert Urania might as well be Jose Urania. He's just not.
I was
going to
say, did he change his name, or is this a different Urania?
No, it's a different Urania, yeah, for sure. But It's still a Urania I want to pick on. The Mets, man. Yeah. Talk about teams that stink, but they're in a really good spot, and they got guys that I think look good here. Juan Soto, obviously, starting to see the ball pretty well, double digits in 3 straight with a home run, robbed from him by James Wood.
Oh, that was a great catch.
Great catch. MJ Melendez.
What yards?
Yeah, swinging a really good bat for him. He's 2,800 in the middle of that lineup. So the Mets, they're another team. They're never going to get you super excited, but man, they're in a good spot here. So yeah, I could definitely get on board with the stack. And then the Angels, Christian Scott, I think he's got talent, but clearly hasn't put it all together. He walked like 5 guys in a row in that outing last time out. And the Angels have sneaky upside and won't be owned at all. So, yeah.
Do you have some favorites? You have some favorites on the Angels you like?
Yeah, I think it's Neto would be my top favorite just because he's got that power speed upside. Trout, obviously. But that's a team, again, Scott's going to put guys on. It's a recipe for success in DFS. You get multi-home runs, guys on base. So, I understand both stacks here. It's just, again, hard to prioritize them over like the bunch of other teams we've talked about,
Yeah, Soto hit a bomb and I know he went back to back in games, and then I think Wood might have robbed him in that 3rd game when he was going to hit 1 in 3 straight games. So he's been hot. Mets, I guess, swinging a little bit different. Christian Scott was good last year. I feel like, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I thought so. I remember. Yeah, I didn't realize he was hurt making his first start. Yeah, I think both stacks are in play. I lean Mets a little bit more than I do on the Angels side. Next up on the docket is going to be those White Sox. I mentioned Murakami a minute ago. That guy, goodness gracious, just been tattooing baseballs. He's been red hot, striking out a bunch though. Benintendi had a decent year. Colson Montgomery always can go yard. And then on the other side, I think these Padres go virtually unowned, taking on Noah Schultz. You like Noah Schultz a little bit. Not going to play him tonight, I believe you said. But talk to me about this game. White Sox in Petco taking on the Padres.
Yeah, so this is another one. I could see all sides of this game. Schultz is an arm I respect for sure. Best arm in the White Sox system. One of the better arms in the minors or, now in the majors, but one of the best prospect arms around. Has looked good. Other than his first start, I've been impressed with how he's looked. So I lean Schultz over the Padres, but we know this Padres lineup's profiles well here. You get an unproven Schultz on the road. Like the Padres, I don't think they're the worst stack on the board. No matter how much I like Schultz, it's all about tonight. And I think the Padres, if they get to him tonight, have big upside. The White Sox, I feel similarly about. Marquez just ain't it anymore. Again, I talked about how I used to love him, one of my favorite pitchers when he was at his peak, but he's just fallen too far from grace. I don't love how good the Padres bullpen is for the White Sox stack. You get like 5 good innings from Marquez, and all of a sudden the stack is probably dead. So that in itself will likely keep me off them. But Marquez is not good, so they have upside here, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I like what you said about the bullpen for the Padres. So, Noah Schultz is 8,500. That, I mean, you said he was good. That's a lot. That's a lot though for him, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's not really in play on this slate.
Yeah. You got a fan. You got a fan in the building. I hunt kids for real. Late. Belman's back. He never left. Belman never left. He's here. Ain't going anywhere anytime soon, we hope. Next game up on the slate. I would say the second most owned team is going to be your Cleveland Guardians, almost a 5-run total. In Coors Field, 2.0, taking on Ted Ginn Jr. and this Oakland Athletics team. Talk to me about this game. Guardians at the Athletics in Sacktown.
What you know about Ted Ginn Sr., though? Anything or no?
I know he's an old ball coach up there, coaching them up, getting those kids in.
He's
Teddy's on that gin and juice, driving that thing down in Texas.
I saw that
pulled
too.
Over.
Well, he's the head coach of one of those teams now, but
oh, he is. Yeah, he's just getting out. He's getting turned out there down in Dallas, trying to coach them boys up. I love it.
Ted Ginn Sr. is the head coach at Glendale. He's been there forever, where Arvel Reese went. So, been kind of a leader in the
Arvel Reese.
Good shout out.
Goodness gracious, that dude is a grown man. That dude is huge.
Yeah, he's a monster.
I saw him at the draft. I was like, the Titans passed on that guy. Man,
right?
The Titans, they blew it. They blew it.
Yeah, I actually thought he was going to go to Tennessee, but they got another
20
Ohio
years old
State.
too. Dude's built like a dadgum Adonis. He's huge. Man.
Yes, he is. They got another Ohio State stud though, so should be pretty happy with Carnell Tate.
Who?
Carnell Tate, who the Titans drafted from Ohio State. What do you mean who?
I know who he is. Guy should have been drafted like in the 4th round, not 4th overall.
No. What? No.
Dude runs a 4.7.
He's a stud. He's a stud. You'll see. You got to get your boy Cam Ward some weapons.
I remember from high school.
You got to get your boy Cam Ward some weapons.
Wandale Robinson.
Yeah, he's a stud too. I did think they overdrafted Tate a little bit. A lot of people in Cleveland wanted the Browns to draft him, but nevertheless.
Yeah.
What game were we on? The Cleveland game.
we got on Cleveland and you couldn't get off. Aren't we on Cleveland and Ted Ginn Jr. and the Athletics?
Yeah, so that was a nice little full circle moment with JT, Ted, Ginn, Jr., Senior, whatever. Cleveland looks good here. Ginn is really good against righties, stinks against lefties, and you're going to have a Cleveland lineup with 8, maybe 9 lefties here. Huge ballpark upgrade, obviously, in Sacramento. So Cleveland, yeah, they're one of the teams that, like, I think you can make a case rivals the Braves. Now, I think the Braves clearly project better, but when you put ownership in the mix, I think you can say they rival them. The A's themselves, I talked about them earlier. I like Cantillo, but he's been good this year as far as his strikeout upside goes, but just okay as far as his like run suppression and stuff goes. So I think Oakland or the A's are perfectly fine in tournaments here. Not my favorite stack on the board, but wouldn't be surprised at all if they hit multiple home runs. And I don't have any faith in the Cleveland bullpen right now. So surely in play.
Yeah, I'm with you. Both stacks are in play. I do lean Guardians a little bit more. Looks like my boy Rich Homie Kwan's coming back, batting leadoff. Get my boy Schneeman out of there. Hey, Matt, tell your people up there in Cleveland, too, to stop snatching the balls from little girls' hands. That's not the way to do things at a ballpark. We don't condone that.
No, we don't. I think that guy apologized, but what a loser.
I know. He was super nice about it. Heat of the moment. I know if he had to do it over again, he wouldn't have done it, but he caught a lot of flack online. I saw Papa Schneeman was on the X machine over there telling him to leave the man alone.
Papa Schnee is always on the X. Damn, you're up on your Cleveland sports. I respect it. You've been doing your homework for this video.
I don't know much, but I do know some ball. Hey, speaking of ball knowers, my guy Warren Tyler pulling out a Justin Gage reference. Justin Gage might have been the worst receiver in Titans history, and that's saying something. But hey, shout out to you and Jeremiah Smith. Yeah, he's a bona fide stud. going to be the next great one to come out of the Ohio State University. We got one game left on the slate. I don't think we're going to talk long about it because we don't really like these stacks, I don't think. We got the Royals, who absolutely stink, can't get hits in Oakland, can't do anything, taking on this Mariners team. We love both pitchers. What happens when no one plays the Royals, Matt? They're probably going to blow up and get to woo again. But if they do, it's going to be shut the laptop down kind of night, but I'll be asleep anyway. But Royals at the Mariners.
Yeah, the only thing you have here really is the leverage against the highly owned pitchers. But there's so many good spots that I just can't really see either of these teams breaking the slate. I'm out here. Minuscule ownership. Nah, I mean, like Bobby Witt's never a bad play, but man, like you're allocating so much salary there, like you're playing him over a lot of other guys. So
yeah, you can't click him at 6,100.
It's just tough. It's just really tough. Like if I were playing 150, I wouldn't X him out, but I can't imagine I'd get much of him anyway. So it wouldn't be something I'd worry about, you know?
Yeah. Excellent stuff there. All right, Matt, we did it last week. We're going to do it again this week. Not the home run calls yet. At the end of the night, the two stacks that are going to be on the winner are going to be who?
We'll go with the Cleveland and the Dodgers.
Cleveland and the Dodgers. I love it. All right. I got two home run calls in the chamber. Any home run calls today that are going to hit a bomb? I can go first if you want me to because I got two.
You got it.
I'm going to go with one of my favorite stacks, batting leadoff, $5,300, Byron Buxton for the Twins.
Yeah, I get that. He's a really good play tonight. I'm going to counter you with I'm going to go in instead of Trey Turner leading off, it's Kyle Schwarber. I'm going to go with a Schwarber leadoff bomb tonight.
Yeah, I like it. And my guy Jeffers was up there. I really like the Twins tonight. Twins might be one of my favorite stacks tonight. Walker and Pahis. I'm assuming that's Jordan Walker in the same game. Appreciate all of you tuning in. We certainly appreciate it. All 250 of you. Thank you. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe button. On the way out of here, we're going to get some shippers tonight. I can feel it in the air. Make sure to tune back in on Monday when we have our next show, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For my guy, Belman, I'm Ham. We'll see you next time. Just ship.